I think maybe even Dirty Jersey Rat. Dirty Jersey. Yay! I love that song.
Yeah, Karmic's Crush. Yeah, and I see that. I don't watch Karmic's, but the clips come up, and then lots of people send me, and it's like him crying, and it's just like this one. Karmic's is, I mean, he's a very mentally disturbed guy, and he's always talking about everybody about like, pathetic men, and I like the pathetic wives, and they leave, and they're no good men. And it's like, this is a guy that like, I mean, just what was he from Minnesota, and he just lives on a family farm, and just never seen like everything's, you know, and he's trying to find love in the Dabbleverse. Like, believe me, I love being single, but I love also getting sex from the ladies. But I would never look for love in a dab. I look for it in the real world around me, people I know. In fact, if you're a lady in the Dabbleverse, no offense to you ladies, but I'm not interested because I feel like everything is going to be content. It's not me. Like if I want to be in a real relationship, it's going to be a real relationship. It's not going to be Dabbleverse content. Yeah, Clearwater Gacy. I noticed stuff like that too. He believes every super chat. You could say Rob violated his mom, and he spent 40 minutes talking about the horrendous act. Yeah, that's what I noticed because everybody kept talking about the beef between Rob and Karmic when I was on there, and it was like. I was like, I didn't even know there was a beef between me and Karmic. So I look it up, and you know how Dabbleverse people are. They just be like, Rob said you're a pussy, and he's like, well, right. And then he'd go on like a 40-minute rant, like Rob Saul's a pussy. He isn't a real man. And he's a, and then then he like got mistaken and thought I was a Democrat and started like screaming about what a liberal I was. Because I told him, even though I was wearing MAGA hats on every show. It's just like, yeah, Karmic just believes every super shot. That's what those are the guys you call Mark. You could just tell him anything just to get him going. I mean, he's he's mentally slow. I mean, you could say it. And I mean, I don't know if he's like retarded, or it's just like he's like a country bumpkin and just hasn't been around real people his whole life. Like he's lived on a farmland, like not around a lot of people, so he doesn't understand things. So, but either way, he's not bright, and he's not all that bright. He's a little slow. The blind, yeah, Retarmic's actually a caretaker. So yeah, I love her. She just like gotta. Not gonna quit. I man. Chillin says the Duke is very angry at Karmic, and Karmic being stupid. He's in his 40s and scared to work a day job. Yeah, that's another thing too. And I even saw John recently saying, "I love Karmic and the patience," and it's just like that's the thing with John, like and why I have no problem saying that I have communication with Carl now, like because John would. Um, Had me walking on eggshells. I would get calls if I talked to anybody or had anybody on the show that he thought disrespected him, and then he would bring on people that would just like fuck him. I mean, that was the last show. The last show I went on, he had Keanu and that Avon. And they just attacked me, and not only and before they even he let me attack me, he asked their permission if it was okay for me to come on. And and it's like I'm not doing that shit anymore. And and nothing against John. I'll always be friends with John, and if he wants to be friends, but like I'm not doing it. I'm going to talk to who I want to talk to. If you're going to talk to who you want, I'm not going to sit there and judge like hold on, can I talk to you? Are you friendly with John? And John just brings on everybody that'll talk about talk all kinds of shit about me, but and it's not even a thing because like I'm not in the position to tell John who he can have on his show, and I think you can screen that one. Nobody tells me I can on my show, and I'm like, okay, then what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Like, I can talk to anybody who I want. Like, if a person I don't have beef with wants to come on or they want to have me on, I'll talk to them. I don't have a problem with them. You do. Just like with Kiana, you didn't have a problem with her, I do, and she had a problem with me. I mean, the last time I was on John's show, um, it was funny because I went in and they like ganged up on me and attacked me, and I came back at them, and it was actually a lot of positive feedback for me. And I'm not even gonna lie, Anthony Kumi is a funny fucking guy. Like he makes me laugh, and I remember when that clip came out, my last time on John's show, when I was calling Ava a big ugly man. I remember Carl and Shuli being like, Rob just goes low. He doesn't have to do all that, and all that. And then I watched a show with Shuli and Carl and Anthony Cumia, and they mentioned Ava, and then Anthony started talking about what a big ugly man Ava was, and they're cackling and going along with it. And it's like, I get it. Anthony Cumia is funnier than me, but come on, like you can't just say like Rob Saul went low by saying that, but then when Anthony Cumia says it, and I get it, Anthony Cumia is more charming and funny than me, but it still is a little double-sided, where you could laugh when Anthony Cumia, but with me, it's like, oh, that's transgender. No, not transgender. What were they called? Transphobe. That's what Kiki was screaming at me the whole show. Yes, that is in the past, chilling, and I've worked things out with Carl. I actually, Carl actually reached out to me laughing about the show with the TV knocked off and recently. So yeah, but that's the thing with it. But still with Shuli, I was watching. They had Jim Grindle on, and I haven't on or talked about Shuli. And they were, on to their dog fucking routine and about that with Anthony Cumia yucking out. I'm like, I haven't even talked or messed with these guys. But like, Carl, doesn't trash me on his show. Would you ever reconcile with Nasty Neil? Listen, I have no hatred for anybody, but what's in the past is in the past. Clearwater Gage says Carl was the worst of it. Yeah, Carl came at me, but I was going hard at Carl and his wife too. But once I stopped, Carl stopped. But once I stopped with everybody, but Shuli was still coming in. Like, I haven't even been doing a Dabbleverse show, and they were showing a clip of John saying like, "Yeah, Rob's in the Dabbleverse. It's good for him," and then Anthony Zenhauer did that dumb hillbilly voice that he does for me that they used to do for Benji Bronk. And you're like, yeah, now I can fuck dogs in peace without people talking about it. It's like, you fat fuck. Why don't you try to take care of your kid instead of sitting with fucking two hacky losers all day watching Stuttering John? I mean, this Anthony Zenhauer is so pathetic. He used to call me all the time, like begging to be on Levy Land and begging to be on every show, and then he got on hitched his. I guess he thinks this is his big break into superstardom, is being on the Shuli network. I mean, no. So Clearwater Gacy, Carl's not the worst of them. Shuli and Anthony Zenhauer are the worst of them.